So, Dr. Piper, let's talk about the cell, the human cell. We've got trillions of cells in our body. Let's Dr. Seuss this today and say, what does a cell look like? If you don't mind giving us an illustration,
Sure.
and maybe explain a little bit about what's in that cell,
Okay.
this amazing cell that we have.
I'm glad you said Dr. Seuss. Okay, this is our cell, C-E-L-L, and we're keep it nice and round. It's nice and solid. There isn't any openings, and once the cell starts breaking, let's say there's a break there, and it starts getting weak because we're not getting the nutrients into the cell. Okay, this is going to allow viruses, bacteria, whatever's floating in our body. Some of these bad guys just get right inside there. So let's close this up again. This is the mitochondria. This is the little engine. And inside the mitochondria is ATP. I know it's triphosphate. Now, I can have all these nutrients and all the food and the supplements I'm getting. How am I going to get it into this area? And what do I need? Well, I need carbohydrates. I need my carbohydrates, I need my sugar. Now, people get scared. Oh, there's sugar. Well, there's good sugar and there's unhealthy sugar, and maybe we can talk about that at another time. But let's say we're talking about the good sugars. I call it the polysaccharides. The good sugars increase ATP to give us our energy. This is where we get our energy from. Okay? The amino acids will help with the protein, will help with the cells to keep the cells healthy. And the amino acids also help, within the brain, the neurotransmitters. But right now, though, we're focusing on giving our body the energy that we need. So here we have the little engine, and now we have the polysaccharides that are going to help with the ATP. And these are the very good sugars. The key is, we mentioned before about bioavailability. How am I going to get those nutrients into that? I need to have some sort of carrier. And that's where a lot of people are lacking, and they're taking, I'll do this thing, more is not better, less is better. I think that's what you said before, more is not better. So if I'm not absorbing, maybe I ought to take more. Well, people are spending way too much money on supplements. When I had my practice, I had maybe 5 or 6 various different products that I would recommend, as opposed to somebody coming in with 60 or 70 or 80 different products.
Yeah.
And they don't understand why they're even taking it. So if I'm going to get my protein, I'm going to get my essential fatty acids, which is going to help keep this cell nice and strong and healthy. Okay. It's also, we talk about a little bit about electrolytes. We hear about electrolytes and how important it is. That creates an osmotic pressure, keeping that cell healthy, and that's usually from our minerals.
Okay, that makes sense. And so you have the energy. ATP is basically the energy. It's the fuel to keep these cells working, obviously, synergistically throughout the body, whether we're healthy or whether we're sick, because I know it can go the opposite way.
Mm-hmm.
How do we explain the duty of a white blood cell and the duty of a red blood cell? A misconception for many, because they're always worried about their white blood cells being high or their red blood cells being low. So how do we Dr. Seuss that?
Okay, very simply, the white blood cells is the immune system. That's going to tell me if I go to the doctor and he does a blood test and says you have high white blood cells, that means that something's going on in my body that's creating havoc to my immune system.
Okay.
The blood cells will carry my iron, the oxygen, through the blood, and that's going to give you my energy. That's going to do a lot of this. This is a combination of this, but it's also our soldiers.
Okay.
It's our soldiers.
Defense system.
Right. So if I go to the doctor or somebody says, I went and I have a cold or I have the flu or maybe even worse type of condition and have a white blood cell, the doctor can say, okay, something's going on, because these guys are now standing up to fight. Otherwise, on a normal situation, they stay pretty balanced.
Yeah.
And then if we have a low count, like people that are anemic,
Okay.
or other conditions over there, they need to raise that. So this one to keep it balanced, and this one to keep it balanced too. We don't want real high, because there are some people, every so often, somebody say, I have too many red blood cells, and that can create a problem. There's a certain condition that creates that. So if I can keep a balance with that and keep a balance with that, and then maintaining all this together,
Keeps your
I
army
can be older than Methuselah, right?
Well, Now, that's a great explanation, that makes a lot of sense, and I think what, for most people, they understand that, and, you know, from what you have shared before with bioavailability, the importance of that, you know, in the energy, and then obviously the cells working together, so,
Right.
perfect explanation, thank you.
You're welcome.